This is the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550. And now, here's your host, Sarah Mosen.
It's Friday, folks. It's a brand new day with no mistakes, and I'm so excited to have Nicole Wilkins. She is wonderful, very, very talented, pro athlete, and I certainly want to share her story with you. Nicole, it's great to have you here this morning. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. We were chatting a little bit about your background, and I just find you so fascinating because you've reached out to so many people. You have competed in the figure competitions for years. You have a background as an athlete. You are currently also going to be competing in Vegas for the Olympia. This is your fourth time, right? The third time that you won, and this is the fourth time that you're going to be competing as well, right?
This is actually going to be my seventh time at the Figure Olympia, but I won it 3 times, and if I win it the fourth time, it's the most wins ever in the history of the sport. So, yeah, it would be pretty awesome to make history.
Definitely,
so that's the goal.
Definitely. And then with your background is not only training people as well as you have your fat camps, which we attended. My trainer Sarah Warner and I attended recently, which I absolutely loved. You have this phenomenal website. It's Nicole Nicole Wilkins.com, WILKINS.com. Can you tell me a little bit about your background and share that with our listeners?
Yeah, sure. You mentioned my website. I actually just recently relaunched it. So for people who have no idea who I am or what I do, that's a great way to to learn a little bit more about where I came from and what I do on a regular basis. But actually born and raised in Michigan, so I'm a Midwestern girl, and I currently live in California. I moved out here about 1.5 years ago. And I've been a personal trainer for years, used to own a small personal training studio, and as part of growing my business, I wanted to get involved in the fitness industry and start competing in fitness competitions. I was a gymnast my whole life, and I did track in high school, but I had a couple knee surgeries and knew that I was kind of missing the recruiting years for college gymnastics, and at that point just had more fun working out in the gym. So I knew I wanted to do something in health and wellness, and that's where the gym came about. And then I actually was pretty decent at competing, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So I just continued on, and I am now the 3-time world champion and 3-time figure international champion. So I switched into the figure division after my 3rd year of competing. And it's very similar, except there's no routine round. So it's kind of like a beauty pageant for fitness girls is the way I like to describe it for people who have no idea what it is. But in this year, the Olympia, which is our Super Bowl of the sport, is going to be televised on NBC Sports, which is the first time ever in the history that an IFBB, or International Federation of Bodybuilding event, is going to be televised. So that's an incredible honor for the 50th anniversary of the Olympia.
Well, I think you're extremely talented because, firstly, to get to that level, and certainly competing is not easy because of not only the discipline and the diet, but you're still doing a number of things. You have a clothing line that's coming out as well, right?
Yeah, I like to keep myself busy. In fact, I have a hard time saying no sometimes, which I'm working on. I like I mentioned, my site I just recently redid, and I have a member section on there, which I'm doing a lot more like full-length videos of workouts and recipes and just nutrition tips and ways to help for people who cannot afford a personal trainer to learn about how to eat healthy and implement exercise into that to make it a lifestyle change. I am working on a clothing line. It's finalized now, but we're waiting on a couple small changes. My goal is to launch it in August. So that is the goal. And it's a fitness line, but you can wear a lot of the tops out. So I have this top that has scrunch in the back, and you can wear it with jeans if you want to go out. And it's great for just everyday activities as well as obviously going to the gym. And then
right, I saw some of the clothing. It's amazing. I mean, it's really beautiful when we were at Fat Camp. So,
thank you. Yeah, it's really high quality. I mean, obviously, I live in that stuff, so I want to make sure that it's going to last a long time and not rip and change shape if you work out on it with it on a consistent basis.
Right.
And then over the last couple of years, I started doing Fat Camp, which is what you guys attended with Jen Hendershot, who is a great friend of mine. In fact, I used to compete with her 10 years ago, and she approached me about 2 years ago and asked me to be a special guest at a camp. And she was looking for somebody to eventually take over her business. And it's really difficult to find somebody who you can trust with your business. So I was incredibly honored for her to approach me, and after getting to know me more on a personal level, ask me to eventually take over her Fat Camp business. So this year, we went to every single Fat Camp together, and we go to about 10 locations, and then next year we might add a couple more cities. But it's a fitness weekend for women, and it's not just for competitors. I want to get that across because both of us are competitors, but we don't want to scare people away who are just starting out. So you don't have to be in incredible shape. You can be just starting your journey and go.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about the Fat Camp, because it's like, we're in lending and finance. We reach out to everyone. Our philosophy is to be able to help people from all walks of life. And that's what I loved about the camp, because when we went to the camp, Sarah, my trainer, and I went, and folks, please call in if you have questions. The number is 1-800-662-9550. What I loved about it, firstly, Nicole, you're just a delight. You're so down to earth. You've accomplished so much, and you were just so kind and sweet with everybody. And there were people from literally all levels, and everyone had fun and had a great workout. So.
Yeah, it's super inspirational, even for Jen and I, even though we've been around for so long. I mean, we have daughters that come that are 13 years old, and then we have 76-year-old women who come, and everyone works out together, and everyone gets a great workout in because you work out at your own level, and we mix it up a lot. I mean, we go outside, we try out different gyms depending on where we're at. We mix in cardio and weight training, and we talk about nutrition and a lot of motivation, because we both feel that in order for you to be healthy on the outside, you have to be healthy on the inside, and that comes from a healthy mindset. So we do touch on a lot of topics that a lot of people may not want to talk about, but you leave motivated.
The whole experience was really wonderful because there was a lot of bonding going on between the people that attended, and you and Jen are just so lovely, both of you. There were tears, and there was, a lot of laughter as well. And, I've known Jen Hendershot because I've attended the camps prior to when you started with her. She's really an accomplished woman, and certainly I'm looking forward to having her on air as well. But I'd like you to just mention your website a little bit more on your clothing line as well, so that people can reach out and just see what you're doing, because you're doing some incredible things, Nicole.
Well, thank you. Yeah, well, the clothing line is going to be exclusive to NicoleWilkins.com. So you have, in order to purchase the clothing, you have to go to the website. But I'm going to have multiple pairs of pants. I'm going to have capri pants as well as cargo pants. There's going to be some shorts, sports bras, tank tops, long shirts, like tunic tops. So there's a huge variety. I'm going to start with basic colors first, just to kind of see how people like it. I have pockets on the back of the pants and belts, and it's a lot of fun, and it's very fashion forward, and I think everyone's going to really enjoy it. So
when is it going to be released? Do you have a date or an idea of when your line's going to be released?
I don't have a specific release, but August is my goal, because I have to finish the photo shoot with all the clothes, and then all I have to do is just put it online. So the clothes are done. Just a couple more tweaks, but yeah, in the next 2 months.
Exciting stuff. And then with the Fat Camps, are any upcoming dates that are going on in the U.S.? Because I know you're traveling as well outside of the U.S. with the camps.
Yes, so we have one more camp this year, and it's in October 25th, that weekend, in Las Vegas. And you can register for a Fat Camp at getfatwithnicole.com. And fat is P-H-A-T. So it's GETPHATWITHNICOLE.com. And all the dates that we went to this year are on there as well, so you can get an idea of what cities we've gone to and what cities we'll most likely be back at next year. And Jen and I have already begun discussing what dates and locations we're going to go to next year. So we're hoping to add 2 more cities, so we'll get about 12 locations, and we want to release those dates around the Olympia time, so probably end of September, early October, so that people can get a jump start on planning it for next year.
Well, that's perfect. Listen, I want to thank you for coming on air with me today. I certainly am looking forward to seeing you in October, and we're going to be attending some fat camps, both Sarah and I. We loved it, and I certainly endorse you. You're a great athlete. You really are. You're kind, and you're very, very talented as well. So I can't thank you enough, and hopefully you'll come back on air again with us soon.
Thank you so much. It really was a pleasure meeting you both, and I'm very thankful that you asked me to be on air. So thanks again.
It was my pleasure. Stay well, folks.
This has been the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550.